Cool. Yeah. So I've actually had this question, like I thought about it and I was like, oh, I feel like that's a pretty good question. So I'm curious to know because I've seen a lot of like takes online and stuff with people talking about the biggest differences, obviously being from Canada and stuff like that. I'm curious to know because your journey here would have predated all of like internet and social media and all that stuff type of situation. So in hindsight, looking at it now, for your perspective being Canadian, what would you say if you were to define it? What are the differences between being Canadian and American? And why did you appeal or resonate with being more Canadian than you did American when deciding to come to North America as a whole?
When I was coming to North America, the only thing that I know about Canada, I think was 1986, and I know that it's more quieter and there's job opportunities.
Okay.
But when I was bombarded with entertainment and all that, it's United States.
Yeah.
You see, so my opportunity, the opportunity that I will get economically when it comes to jobs, it's what I heard about Canada. So that was my mind when I came to Canada.
Yeah.
But entertainment, it was always United States. So with the geography close like that, I know that I'm close enough to the entertainment area,
Okay.
you know, and I already heard about how America is more chaotic.
Right. Okay. So even back then, you were hearing about how
Yeah,
America was
America
already
is
crazy.
crazy,
Yeah.
chaotic,
Okay.
and all that. Yeah, I was hearing about that.
Oh,
But the entertainment part suppressed that.
okay.
You see, the
Yeah.
entertainment part
Yeah.
suppressed
Yeah.
that because you are young.
Yeah.
Even though the place is, you fear about your safety, but at the same time, because of the high entertainment mind, you pass through a bad neighborhood to go and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so we are like that.
Yeah.
But when I came over here and I saw the opportunity economically, and also the entertainment is not far. It's almost similar. The language is the same. I'm hearing the music and everything like that. So I just say, hey, this city is so quiet and nobody bothers you. The gun violence that you hear, the shooting, it's not here. So that's just say it's better. You see, it's better.
Yeah.
So that's what really, hold me, to say, I'd rather be a Canadian.
How do you feel now?
How I feel now, I still feel the same, like the opportunity that I have to take care of myself.
Yeah.
It's have been positive, positive, positive.
Yeah.
But the economy has grown, the population has grown,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. But at the same time, the human, what they call a natural way of, you know, you love a certain side of the growth, but at the same time, you don't like a certain side of the growth.
Okay.
So it's like now, if I want to drive to Scarborough, because of the growth, the economic power and the growth,
Yeah.
it will take me 45 minutes when before it takes me 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You see, so, but the way I approach it is that I rather say it's a good thing because economic growth is good for the future.
Yeah.
So my what they call it, my uncomfortability getting to places quicker shouldn't, make me angry about the economic growth. The positive about the economic growth.
So
Yeah.
what was the main deterrent off of America when deciding, oh, I'm going to try and come to Canada, try and go to America? What was the major factor that deterred you away from going to America? And
The opportunity to come to Canada is the one that came to me when I was in France.
already came in, okay, when you were in France.
Yeah,
Okay.
because France, we hear more about,
Yeah.
French-speaking Canadians.
Yeah,
So,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So we have some friends who came to Montreal,
Yeah.
and some came to Toronto. So we correspond with them because France, the only time we get job, it's in the summer.
Okay.
You see, and we are English-speaking
Yeah.
colony.
Yeah.
We don't speak fluent French, so there's a lot of French Africans
Yeah.
in France, and they speak French, so they get most of the jobs. You understand what I mean? So we, the English speaking, Britain would be good for us, but I was never a big fan of, Britain.
Interesting. Because Canada is way closer to Britain than America is.
Yeah, that's
based
right.
in history.
Yeah, Canada. Yeah,
Right.
but for me, Canada is closer to United States.
Which tends to be
Yeah, that's
which
the
tends to be the
geographically,
thought,
yeah.
which
Geographically,
geographically
yeah.
is closer,
Yeah.
to the United States than
That's
Canada.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know-
but that kind of like I'm curious to know how you prefer America dealing with issues and Canada dealing with issues. Like when you see how America deals with issues on the news and when you see Canada dealing with issues on the news and also in real life, like is there like some sort of disconnect that irks you, or is there anything about like how one place deals with issues as opposed to the other that you prefer?
Yeah, before when I just look at it with my own intuition, like looking at it
Yeah.
without the knowledge behind
Yeah.
why they deal with things.
Right. Okay.
I say, why Canadians are more, a little bit more like humanity. They don't rush into like war and all that, right? They don't say, let's go kick butt quicker,
Yeah.
know. But when I started to listen to the historical aspect of it, then I started to find out that, it's more like the politics, it's what is deciding that. You see, so Canada, it's like economically depend on America. Very, very, very
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
So there's a certain things that they just don't have a say to
Yeah.
influence America. And if America say get lost, they don't have anything to use to say you cannot tell us get lost,
Right.
because they know that economically America have them. Because investments come from America into Canada to do things that will sell back to America. They are Canada's biggest trade partner. And Canada have a lot of things that population-wise cannot consume.
Right.
You see, so in Canada, it's more like economically protected by United States, and the same time, when it comes to outside invasion forces, you have to go through America to harm Canada. You see, so the politics realize that,
Yeah.
but they have their own independent politics that deal with domestic issues.
Yeah.
But when it comes to international issues, America is always at the front. And Canada have to follow.
Yeah.
But when it comes to let's do things in a peaceful way, Canada have influence.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, Canada have influence. Let's do things in a peaceful way because of the politicians that put that thinking together. You see, so I remember they say Canada, it's what they call it when it comes to United Nations, peacekeeping and all that. Canada have influence in those areas.
Yeah.
You see, so a lot of us, we see outside of Canada, they see Canada as a peaceful,
Yeah.
a peaceful thinker. But behind the scene, allied with America, that peace is not.
Yeah. It's
You understand what I mean?
a little bit of a facade.
So it's like their non-peacefulness hide behind America.
Yeah. I was just more curious. I was interesting. I wanted to ask that because like I always find it interesting like the types of people that like think like, oh, I want to go where all the action happens as opposed to I want to go to where not all the action happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, people fight those two different those two things all the time.
Yeah.
Whether or not somebody wants to move into the busiest part of the city or somebody wants to move into the suburbs and have access to the city or somebody wants to just completely be away from the city type of a situation.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know, like, what specifically, like I know that the access and stuff was easier in France to come to Canada because of the
it was
European
easier,
country
yeah.
and stuff like that. But then having known about America and everything and the entertainment and the forefront on international law and the fight for independence, right? All of that stuff, right? How like what about that? What's running through your head when you're learning about all of these different things that like America gets tied up into as opposed to that kind of in ways sometimes overshadows what Canada is doing. Right?
Yeah,
There's
that's
so
right,
many
yeah.
things. So what runs through your brains with all these different things?
Okay, what's
When
running?
learning about America.
Learning about a lot of eye-opening. Okay, because a lot of us, when we were learning about foreign country, we were learning about it through the economic opportunities.
Okay.
You see,
Yeah.
that's what we were doing. Because the foreign goods that were coming from there was something that we think it's better for us. You see, so everything that we were learning about that country, it's based on our self-interest, economic well-being.
Yeah.
Even though once in a while you hear a certain talking point about the dark side of human behavior, right?
Yeah.
But it's not something that repeat like economic well-being, that it's everyday thing. The economy, it's just everyday thing. That the talking point
Yeah.
about the economy,
Yeah.
24/7,
Every day, money,
it's
every day.
everything,
Every day.
yeah.
Money to be made.
So those overwhelmed,
Yeah.
even bad news that comes with that once in a while.
Fair.
So all of us, everything that we know about foreign countries, even other countries that are in Africa, other countries that are in Africa, that some good stuff that we never see before came from that place. It's not even from overseas. Like a certain gadget came from a neighboring African country that we've never see at our side of Africa country before. We think, whoa, it's better over there. Because this came from there, that it's amazing. So if I go there, the opportunity of me getting that is higher. You see, that's the human economic well-being that drivers, that is just like hunting. So up to today, people will follow other human beings that will commit a certain bad behavior, but their economic well-being is tied to that following.
Yeah.
It's so powerful, and they use it against us all the time. That's how powerful it is. Not only for ordinary people, for even people at the top. Because every living creature that have to survive on resources, it's economy.
Yep.
So people will not walk 200 miles just to go and see a place and come back without no economic benefit in it.
No. That goes into the self-interest situation.
Exactly. So those are the things that even take countries to war. Tribe against tribe.
Yeah.
Even families going at each other's throat.
Yeah. That happened.
So our brain, according to the researchers, our brain hasn't changed the past 60,000 years. The way the brain processes reality hasn't changed when it comes to our economic self-interest, our survival.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But what has changed is things that we used to enhance ourselves
Yeah.
has changed our behavior.
Right.
But the brain that is locked in darkness inside our skull is the same is the same organ
Yeah.
that evolved in that skull 100,000 years ago.
Right.
But things that we've acquired and has changed our behavior.
Fair enough.
So that's the deal.
Yeah. So talking about acquired things changing behavior and how you feel, then I'm curious to know that, like, where you live right now, the exact same circumstances, but put it in America, you're still the same person you are.
Yeah.
Type of a situation.
Yeah.
I guess the better question to ask leading into this question would be, you being here now, would you say that you are like, would you say that you understand or you resonate with like Canadian patriotism, or is patriotism something that like is kind of indifferent to you? Because I'm trying to figure out whether or not you having this lifestyle in America would make you more or less proud, equally as proud, whatever, like doesn't necessarily matter if it's the things around you or if the stories that you hear of whatever happens with your country and all of the news, for better or worse, does that have an effect on you anyway,
Yeah.
in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, it's patriotism. Patriotism can have a different angle according to your feelings.
Yeah.
You see, so when it comes to patriotism about defending the country,
Yeah.
defending the country, that your DNA, it's part of that country. I don't think majority of we, the immigrants, have that.
Interesting.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would say native Canadians, like the Mohawk and all that, you know, their DNA go with the territory, the land, and everything, right? So for them, that's their mother earth and everything. So their patriotism to that, it's different than my patriotism.
Would it be the same as your patriotism to Africa then?
Yeah, my patriotism would be to Africa if what I've got out of there have a higher value in my
okay.
consciousness.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. What you got out of there didn't necessarily.
Have that, yeah.
Interesting. That's controversial. You're gonna piss a lot of people off.
Yeah, that's right.
You're gonna piss a lot of people off.
know,
How dare you? No value.
So,
That's the only way I can see people that like taking that, like, no value in Africa. Like,
no, yeah, that's
like,
right.
that's not true.
Yeah.
It's just like what you experience.
What I've experienced.
Yeah.
You know, so when I came to Canada, my economic well-being and the value that I attach to that probably has given me higher patriotism
Okay.
than the African that you understand what I mean?
Brutal.
Yeah.
It's brutal. It's not.
It's-
Hey. I'm like, I feel like I'm feeling the hate from here already.
Yeah, that's right. You know,
Like-
so no,
Like I understand. I get where you're coming from.
because I'm talking in what they call human universal
Yeah.
term.
I get. Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yes, I do understand where you're coming.
Because the land,
Yeah.
when it comes to our world, our universe,
Yeah.
there is no borders.
Yeah.
The air have no borders, you know.
Yeah.
There's no. We are the one who construct, you know, who socially construct those borders. You see, it's maybe different climates, but the way you find a way to survive in it, it's the same earth.
Yeah.
You understand? So the value that you got from this part of the earth make you put more, you know, higher value to hold on to it. And if that becomes the patriotism attached to it, if somebody want to destroy it, you defend it for your economic well-being. That's what human universal it's all about.
Yeah.
But because we have artificial borders, you know, so I'm not attaching patriotism to artificial border.
Right. Okay.
I'm attaching patriotism to human universal survival.
Yeah, you're attaching it to an experience.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so when somebody want to, you know, somebody want to, what they call it, challenge me about why you think that way, I will explain it
Yeah.
in universal term.
Yeah.
That
That's that's a very interesting point
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people. So first, there's like two trains of thoughts, right? Like there's different people. There's people that feel that same way but won't get on camera and admit it.
Yeah, that's
because
right, yeah.
because nobody really, or like the perception I feel is that like nobody really resonates with feeling more patriotism to where you go as opposed to where you're from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Patriotism via where you're from is the more common patriotism than patriotism with where you go. And I think that's what makes America interesting, is because when people get to America, they're like, no, I'm American. You
Yeah,
know
that's
what I'm
right,
saying? Because they're like, everything that went into
Yeah, but-
building America, they're like,
Yeah.
I'm American now. Like, I feel it. Like,
yeah, because they market that.
yes.
They market that with the goodies.
Yeah.
You know, so first of all, the goodies that you're experiencing, you know,
Yeah.
infiltrate the mind and give it satisfaction to defend it.
Yeah.
You see, that's the patriotism.
Yeah.
Defend your goods. You know, defend your goods. That's patriotism. You know, so America, they know how to market the good, you know,
Yeah.
for you to link the patriotism with the goods.
Right.
You see, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so other countries are not able to do that with majority of their citizens.
Right.
So majority of their citizens don't even, what they call it, are not even consciously aware of patriotism.
Yeah. Do you think patriotism is specifically a marketing tactic or something?
Patriotism, it's
Because sometimes negative experiences don't affect sometimes negative experiences don't affect how patriotic someone is to where they're from. Sometimes they just love where they're from because it's beautiful and they love it. You know what I'm saying? There are people that still love Mexico despite what's going on in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Or their experience in Mexico. I'm sure there's people that have lost family.
Yeah. So they attach an emotional experience.
Yes, emotional experience.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But when Americans say patriotism is defense,
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it's a right to bear arms.
yeah,
It's right to bear arms. Yeah.
it's.
But I'm saying you don't feel that like in terms of like Africa, like the value that you got out of Africa, like in terms of the emotional attachment of how it like maybe looked, or you know, the people or the culture or anything. Like I'm trying to. figure it out.
Those memory are part of the pageantry experience, right?
Yeah.
You know, so you have those memories.
Right.
You know, but if your brain doesn't mature in those memories and you live there and your brains acquire other experiences
Oh,
and
okay. Fair.
you understand what I mean?
Right.
Because
If you experience a lot while you're developing your brain,
Right.
it's gonna
exactly,
make
it's gonna
you think of where
support-
you're
yeah,
from
exactly.
differently. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
so
okay,
those
I
of
got you,
us
I got you.
who move place to place
Yeah.
in our teenage years and all that,
Yeah.
we have a certain experience where we move from there. The experience that we got over here kind of put that, you know, suppress
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
You know, but we can go back there and use our memory bank to enjoy that. Oh, I remember enjoying this when I left there.
Yeah.
You see, but if you are there all like 40 years, 50 years, never left over there, you just acquiring more experience at that territory to enhance the ones that built from your teenage years.
Fair.
You see, so you just adding on top.
Got
You know,
it. That
you're
makes
adding
sense.
on top.
Yeah.
But if you acquire a little bit and you move from there, you acquire more over here, this more will be more important with the goods that came to you to defend.
Yeah.
And when you move from here to here and you got more good and your brain is maturing into that good, it will probably diminish the one over here.
Okay.
But if you're having a bad time over here and decided to come back here and build on the one that you had here before you left, then you just reinforce the one you have here.
Makes sense. Yeah.
You see, so that's the way the human mind is.
Yeah.